I am so excited today to be chatting with a truly inspiring military veteran and someone who's just doing incredible work for the community. Lindsay Helm, she served almost 7 years in the Army and National Guard, 25 Bravo, worked in systems administration, networking. Then she got out of the military and spent a number of years working IT jobs, government contracting positions, and most recently has founded an organization called Empower Employ. It's a consulting startup, and their mission is to help our military veterans and our spouses land great civilian careers. So, Lindsay, welcome and thank you for the incredible work you do for our country.
Well, thanks. I'm happy to be here. It's been a really amazing ride so far, and I'm just really honored that somehow someone decided to follow me in a direction and there's results and impacts because of it.
Awesome. Tell everyone a little bit about your story. You have a fascinating career, and tell them a little bit about what you did in the military and how that got you on your trajectory.
So I grew up in a small town in Kentucky where it's very, what we would say, rural. It had a blinking yellow light and a super Walmart. So options for careers and, for school and college were slim and far between. So I joined the military and started as a 74 Charlie, which was a telecommunications operator maintainer. But as technology developed, in the 2000s, around 2003, the Army shifted its trajectory and got rid of my MOS and merged me into a what became a 25 Bravo, systems administrator, IT, computer specialist. Did that for a really long time in different multiple places. And then when I got out, like everybody said, the running joke is, I'm going to go work at the DUM or the NEC or whatever that is, which is like the local Army installation's main place. And I had been lucky enough that the person who trained me when I was here and not deployed was the person who hired me to work there. So that's what really launched that career. So I worked a series of government contracts, like you mentioned, and worked in different agencies and did some cybersecurity. I mean, I just covered the whole gamut and discovered that it was really interesting that people were telling me what to do from a technical perspective, but they didn't know how to plan it. So I was like, man, enough of this. I want to be a project manager when I grow up. So I became a project and program manager in the last couple of years. I worked at Amazon for a while doing project engineering, but then on the side, I've always been helping like veterans and spouses find jobs. Like my transition, because I learned how to network and all those things early, are kind of key things that I teach with people. And so probably, in 2017, when I was out at Fort Irwin, it was 6 miles of terrain, if you will, that was a military installation and 75 miles away from the largest city. And jobs just weren't an option. So I started advocating locally for remote roles for the state of California. I won the Armed Forces Insurance Military Spouse of the Year for that installation in 2017, which then turned into me building the platform that is now live today called Jake. And Jake is targeted at making the hiring process easier for all sides, from the military spouse and veteran side of the house to companies that want to hire them. But I realized in 2017 when I built it that it didn't matter the type of technology that I gave to anyone. If you didn't understand the culture, it was useless. And so now we've tackled that by part of our onboarding process is that you go through our SHRM accredited program on all sides of the house. If you are a military spouse and a veteran, we're going to put you through our career services path. If you're a company and you want to hire, we're going to put you through our link business and give you 3 PDCs. And then we're going to bring you into the platform to hopefully pair everyone together. So that is what we are doing at current state.
That's awesome. What made you choose this career path at helping military? Like, you could have gone in a number of different directions. You could have chased big money in IT or government contracts. Why did you decide to head down this path?
I don't know, just something about the impact, watching a spouse who is, sacrificed a lot to follow her service member or his service member. It's everybody's doing this now. So from place to place. And I get really tired of like watching people struggle in this community to find jobs. And I mean, in the and underemployment that happens across the community is just a whole nother, I'll stay off that soapbox. And I just thought, working on computers doesn't really make my heart like happy. Like it doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, I fixed a computer and a business can operate. Who cares? But to watch this last year when I helped as a volunteer, I placed 150 military spouses and veterans across the United States in remote roles at the peak of COVID. And so when everything was closed down and dark and ugly, there was this light at the end of the tunnel. And I watched a mom on Facebook that I met get hired at Amazon working remotely with a high school diploma and no experience, making $25 an hour with full benefits. And I watched her buy her kid like a brand new like bike or iPad or just something that was like typically pretty expensive and you don't see a lot of. And to see that mom feel so empowered to be able to take care of her kid and like that sense of like confidence that I'm providing for my family too, and like we're even and we're partners on all sides, was kind of a game changer for me. And I thought, man, that's what I want to do with my life. I don't want to fix computers. I want to see change. I want to see advocacy. You know, I met a veteran on the veteran side of the house and he said, man, if I hadn't gotten a job, I wouldn't be here today. Think about that for a second. He was going to commit suicide because he was so miserable. And all I had to do was teach him how to transition and find him some connections and save a life and make an impact. Why wouldn't you want to do this kind of work? Like, I don't know. I could just go on about it forever. It's just a weird passion of mine, I guess. It's all about impacts. I'm a people person. I like to help people, and this is better to me than working with computers that have no personality, like at all.
There's nothing weird about that. That's really awesome that you care so deeply about people and your brothers and sisters and their family members, and hats off to you, man. Keep up the great work. What let's switch gears now. Talk to a business owner. What does a veteran, what does a spouse bring to the table? Why should that business owner consider adding one of these folks to their team?
Have you ever heard the term like be like Gumby? That's my life. If I were going to tell a business owner, my life motto is be like Gumby. You know, the military community, both on the spouse side and the veteran side, they've been exposed to tons of stressful situations, so they react well usually to stressful situations. There's, they're adaptable, they're willing to learn, they're organized, it's just all the positive things that you want. They are leaders, natural born leaders. I think spouses are probably the most creative people I've ever seen in my entire life, because they can fix their car and then run in the house and like run a business meeting and take care of their kids all at the same time. So great multitasking features and ability. And they really just they have a sense of community unlike no other. They really just want to be a part of your world in the short time that they're there. So although nomadic, so is the millennial population, you'll probably get more longevity out of a spouse or a veteran if you're willing to be flexible in your work schedule. Whereas, the millennial generation will just quit and not care. So it's a combination of all things. I think that's just the flexibility and exposure to different, there are different populations and diversity here that just is unmatched.
Yeah. Now, for the veteran or the spouse looking for work, what are some of your favorite tips, suggestions? What pitfalls should they avoid? What are some of the things that you see them doing or not doing?
So the veteran population really cracks me up, especially I hopefully no one's offended, but I make this joke a lot. I say that transitioning service members that have been out less than 6 months are like toddlers with crayons and hot glue. You do not leave them unattended. You hold their hands and you take care of them, because it's such a tough transition to go from, this one organization where things are this way and you have to do all this change and pivot. One of the things I see is like, I'm a veteran, I'm going to get a job right away. Or I was an officer, I'm going to get a job right away. And one of the things I always say is like, listen, yes, you will get a job, but as you're transitioning into civilian lifestyle, you have to be really willing to learn and bend a little bit. The attitude of I'm immediately going to have a job or something is owed to me because I served is one that I really kind of touch on. I see a lot of military lingo in resumes, or a lack of ability to be able to translate that into corporate English. This is a phrase that I have coined myself. And that's both on the veteran and the transitioning service member side of the house. You'll write like, I was #1 rated executive officer out of 500 executive officers in a battalion. So in corporate speak, what you said to me was you were employee of the month. Good for you. Please don't use that as a leadership bullet. If you want to show me that you were a leader, find a way to translate your planning of a deployment and how you manage from a project perspective, money, time, vehicles, resources, etc., and translate that over. And our company does that with you through career coaching. And you can do that at HHUSA or any organization. We just have a very customized approach here. And military spouses tend to like shoot themselves in the foot because they're afraid to talk about the fact that they are a spouse and advertise, and that a lot of that has to do with company culture and the company being uneducated to some degree on what it's like to be in this community. And you'll see things like, I'll be like, they're like, I want to be an event planner, but I have no experience. And I'm like, have you ever planned a family readiness group like Christmas party? Have you ever planned an Easter egg hunt? Have you ever planned a PCS? These are all strategic. Have you worked at the USO? Oh yeah, I've done that. These are all strategic volunteering opportunities that you can use for real life experience on your resume if you can translate that. And you just don't see it. You also kind of see a lack of confidence when you go into these interviews on all sides. It's like, I'm afraid. I'm like, you have to remember you are interviewing this company to fit your lifestyle the same way that they are interviewing yours to fit theirs. So lots to unpack there, but just tons and tons of stuff across the board that I just share with people all the time.
Great advice. How can companies get a hold of what do you want companies to do? How can they benefit from some of your services at Empower Employee?
I'd say even if you think that your programs are on point, that we'll sit down and talk to you absolutely free for half an hour and kind of show you, if you tell us your pain points, where we can help you improve and partner. And it may not be that you're interested in Jake. Maybe you just need a consultant to come on board and be an advocate, or teach you, give you the link course and demo it and do train the trainer so that you're creating diversity and inclusion amongst your groups. We can help you build out an employer resource group that's all veteran and military centric so that, you've got these programs in place. I mean, really, you just have to go to the website and click book consult, and we'll sit down, hear your pain points, and try to give you a resource. If it's not us, we have other partners that can help you. It just really depends on kind of what your needs are. So you can go to our website, which is empoweremployee.us, or us, which was intentional, and book a consult with myself or my partner, who's our chief headache reducer, Matt Wood, who is a veteran himself.
I like that title. And what about veterans and spouses? Are they encouraged to contact you as well?
Yeah, so you can do the same thing. You can go to the same website, and you can either book a coaching session with a career coach, Tim King.
And the dog.
And the dog, Remy, who is going to protect you through this entire process because she is obnoxious. Hold on one second.
That's okay.
But just had to turn. Yeah. So what you can do is you can book with Tim and get a customized resume approach, or you can just ask him to rewrite your resume for you. And typically I'll look at it and match you with connections like yourself, Jordy at Eagle 7. If I see a position that's open, I'll send a referral over to you or to any organization that we partner with. One of our partners has 50,000 members as a military spouse group. So it's pretty easy to circulate information.
Yeah, you've been a great partner to ours, and really advocating for veterans and spouses for open positions. So, Lindsay, I can't thank you enough. You are truly changing the world. You're an amazing person. I am so impressed with you, and so proud to call you a friend and a partner. And I can't wait to see what you are going to do at Empower Employee. I mean, you're going to really change a lot of people's lives for the better. And I thank you for your commitment, and your dedication, and everything. So appreciate you taking time to share your story. And everyone, please check out Empower Employee. Connect to Lindsay on LinkedIn too. She's a great person to have in your corner.
Well, thank you. Thanks, everyone.